Charlie friends, back to the serious stuff. I've got a few videos to make back to back, so without further ado, the impending closure of the Ford plant in Bridgend is something which fills me personally with a lot of sadness, but ultimately not a lot of surprise. Ever since Brexit, the Remainers have tried to use the economic troubles of both Bridgend Ford and the Honda plant in Swindon on us leaving the EU. Indeed, even today, whilst in Bridgend, the narrative worryingly appears to be, well, this is all because of Brexit. This is simply not true. What is behind the closure is the fact that the government has been far too anal in cutting emissions from diesel cars, and as hybrid and electric cars are now going to be the main must-buys, even though more electricity will be needed to fuel the electric cars, with only currently a handful of charging points around South Wales. Other EU countries who have signed up to the Paris Accord have been more flexible, and some have been quite lax about their emissions, putting profit and people's pay before planet. However, Brexit does make a convenient whipping boy for the car industry, and many people will not question this and simply follow the narrative. Bridgend Ford has been under threat for most of my adult life, and growing up in the town in the 1990s, there was always a question of how long it could survive, taking into account the dominance of the German car industry at the time, Mercedes, BMW, etc. Germany prospered with cars, and the UK always seemed to lag behind. And when Ford shut down its Dagenham and Halewood operations, the thought always was in Bridgend, we're next. Interestingly, the lesser cited Madeleine Moon MP, a person less useful than a chocolate kettle in hell, has been very quiet about this. Her Assembly member political counterpart, Carwyn Jones, is trying to make some capital out of crisis by saying, but my Brexit. The writing had been on the wall for Ford for many years, that they had to adapt and compete or face the future, which is now staring them square in the face. Now, I have friends who worked at Ford since they were 16, since leaving comprehensive school. Therefore, they've been there close to 18 years. I turned 34 in August. And feelings differ on the factory floor, from politicians have let us down to, well, the unions don't want to know about innovation and ideas. Speaking of the unions, Unite and the GMB are set to descend on Bridgend in the next few days, and they're going to try in vain to sell the ailing plant. It's going to be a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, with Ford more interested in opportunities on home territory in the USA, and also now their big plants in Mexico. It's a shame that Donald Trump couldn't have come to town during his recent visit. Well, as ever, it's going to be the poorest who will suffer the most. With the town of Bridgend in a state of commercial flux, especially in the town centre, today's news is hardly going to be a relief from a town which, truth be told, is not covered completely from the loss of the mining industry back in the 1980s. Charlie, friends.